Hey, Eddie Inzauto, GamerNode.com, and I'm here with a review of the CopyCat. Now, this is a social deduction game, much like Spyfall from Cryptozoic Entertainment that came out last year in June 2015. And I was a big fan of that game, and that game was really popular among just about everybody who played it. And it was a lot of fun to have that one spy who was trying to figure out the location of every other player around the table and pretend that they weren't a spy, bluffing, lying. There's that great feeling of suspicion around the table and paranoia if you were the spy and had no idea where the hell everyone was trying to explain that they were. But one sort of criticism of Spyfall is that you're only ever in a location and there are only 30 in the game. So this game, the CopyCat, is a new game from Hawk Entertainment, going into Kickstarter in just a few days now in June of 2016, and it has a similar feeling to Spyfall, but it leverages the power and the expanse of the English language to give you a much greater depth and variety of play. And I'm going to tell you first what comes in the box, and then how you play, and what I think of it. This is the box that it comes in. It's very small, very portable, and very simple. It's just a bunch of cards. Now, it comes with 9 cards with instructions on them, and these are what you call the litter box cards. They will come into play a little bit later, and they help you determine what you're doing as either the human or the copycat as you go through the game. Each player at the beginning of the game will get one of these cards. It plays from 4 to 15 players in about 15 minutes, but that's why there are so many of these. These are all humans, and over here you have the copycats, and that's sort of like the spies in Spyfall. At the beginning of the game, everyone will get one of these cards, and there can be up to 3 copycats in the game. That's in a very large game from 11 to 15 players. Otherwise, from 7 to 10 players, you have 2 copycats, and from 4 to 6 players, 1 copycat. So you'll have one of those cards, or 2 of those cards, or 3 of those cards mixed in with all humans for the rest of the players. And then out will come 1 to 2 of these cards. These are the topic cards. Now, these are a variety of different things. So you have person, place, thing, proper noun, event, action, and slang like bay. So you can see it's very, very contemporary language in the slang. Here's YOLO. There are about 150 of these, actually. And what they are is this will be the secret word that the copycats are trying to figure out on top here, the word or phrase. And the information that's shared is what category it's in, the person, place, thing, slang, action, event, or proper noun. Up here are just the words that the humans will see, and down here are the hints that the copycats will see. And that's what these litter box cards are for. I don't know how I feel about the theme, to be honest. It feels like it's just randomly chosen. But so you have the word phrase here, the no cross zone, and 2 hints. And the way this works is at the beginning of the game, after you've gotten your role as either a human or a copycat, you'll take turns going around the table after everyone has closed their eyes. And the first person, if they're a human, they'll slide the word phrase down. So now they know it's preacher, and they won't go past the no cross zone. See, that's enough, no cheating. And then it'll keep going. Then they'll close their eyes again. The next person will open, and they'll be a human. They see preacher. Now maybe the copycat is next. After that person closed their eyes, the copycat opens their eyes, and they get the hint. So here we're seeing lecturer is the hint that refers to preacher. And then for an easier game for the copycats, which I think you should do each time, it seems to put you on the right track, because the hints can be considered somewhat vague until you figure out what sort of connections you're supposed to be drawing between the hints and the word/phrase. But yeah, going with easy mode in the beginning, and then maybe ramping up for experienced copycats to just the single hint is probably the best way to go. And again, no cross-ending. So at the end of that part of the game, after everyone's seen it, this ends up covered, so it's always covered. Then you take turns again going around the table, and each human will say whatever they want in turn related to the word or phrase. And the reason they're doing this is because they are trying to indicate to the other humans that they're human, without revealing to the copycat what that word or phrase is, because there will be an elimination following this. So they'll say whatever they want. It could be one word, it could be 3 words, it could be a story. There's actually no limit. I specifically questioned the designer about this, and he just said it's wide open, which is interesting. And in my play sessions, we've had some strange descriptions, like, oh, it reminds me of this time in school, and blah, 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 whatever. So you can say whatever you want. Then, when it comes to the copycat, they're trying to say something that's related to their hint that's also related to the word or phrase, so that they are not singled out as the copycat in the elimination round, which comes next. So for example, I'm a copycat and I see lecturer. What might I think? A lecturer at school? Here, knowledge lecturer. Lecturer. So I might say something like school or professor. But that's maybe a little too specific, because the word or phrase is preacher. So sort of the way that you're wanting to connect these words is like, okay, what is something about a lecturer? Oh, speaks to a large group. A lecturer, you know? Or here, a Viking. What does a Viking do? Okay, a Viking rides ships. A Viking is a type of person. Hat. Viking and hat. So you might think horns, but maybe that's too specific. And now I haven't looked at that one. So I don't know. That's tough. Pirate. So a Viking is someone who rides ships and wears a hat. So like, yeah, maybe my first instinct on that one might have been good. Here, coffee bean and snack. I might say gives you energy. I don't know, what was it? Dark chocolate. Dark chocolate does give you energy, but it's not necessarily related to coffee bean and snack. I mean, it's related to snack. Or this one, bank and security. It's an official building or something. Wasted, woke up, hot mess. So that you could see that they're vaguely related. At first glance, one might think that they're a little too difficult for the copycat to go from the hint and leap all the way to the word or phrase. But when you think about it in terms of the way the words are connected, sort of loosely, it actually works really well. And it doesn't become too easy for the copycat. And okay, so after you've gone around once, everyone chooses someone to eliminate. They'll discuss a little bit, the group will discuss, and then on the count of 3, everyone points at who they think is the copycat. That person reveals their role, and if it's not the copycat, we move on. If it is the copycat, then they get to immediately make a guess at what the word is. And copycats don't necessarily have to guess the word by the end of the game. So long as one copycat survives to the end of the game, the copycats win. But if they're eliminated and they activate what's called 9 lives, that's their opportunity to, even though they were found out, to say the word and therefore win. And you win on the spot as a copycat. So say it's round 1, you get eliminated, you guess the word somehow, you just won the game, and if it's a big game, your other copycat buddy who is still in the game cheers for you because, you know, he doesn't have to survive round 2. And then normally, you would do a round 2, and then after round 2, you do the same thing, you vote on an elimination, and you continue. And that's it. You can eliminate a human by accident, and that person has to sit out the rest of the game. But you get all this talk around the table when someone says something just like stupid that doesn't make any sense. Like for this food truck, cash only. What would I tacos? If I said tacos there, convenience store, they may be like, what? What are you saying? But you get a lot of interaction between players. I don't think that it's as funny as the questioning and answering that you get in Spyfall, because this is stuff that just comes straight from a person's mind and they say whatever, and it might just be obvious that they're wrong. There's more of that in this game than the sort of maybe, I don't know, a lot of waffling you get when someone asks a question in Spyfall, and the way that everyone just cracks up at the way that a certain question can trip someone up. But still, in this game, there's way more variety. These are the total number of cards, and like I said, there are 7 different categories in this game. I really like it. It's obviously more fun the more players you get around the table, and it gives you that feeling where everyone's suspicious of everyone. If you're the copycat, you have something to go on. I mean, you have a little bit more to go on in this than you do in Spyfall, so you're not quite as just lost if, say, you're the first person to be asked a question. That generally sucks, and you have nothing to go on. But in this, at least you have a hint. You find a variability in games here based on the different topics, but also on the speed with which the games end. So I think it's a great little game. It's coming to Kickstarter very soon, probably June 1st, I think is the date that they were aiming for. And it's going to be great. It's going to be cheap, quick, fun, easy to get into. It uses just words, it's very clear. Here's Donald Trump. The hints are attention and Kim Kardashian, and that refers to Donald Trump. That may be my favorite card yet. Let's leave that right there. So that's CopyCat, a secret word game, a social deduction secret word game from Hawk Games. Their Kickstarter link is in the description of the video. Go ahead and check it out, see what level you want to back at. This is Eddie from GamerNode.com. Catch you next time.